Yo, what's going on, world? This your boy Naji from Cigar Talk, and today I got a very special guest, man. Seated to my left, hey, this guy's fighting Sunday. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. I got my guy, Mr. Callum Walsh.
How's it going, brother?
What's up, my man? How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad.
Man, I've been seeing you for the last couple years, and I feel like the buzz just keeps growing, right? Like you kind of made New York like a second home, it feels like, coming into MSG. Talk about that, like just how New York's kind of been embracing you.
Yeah, definitely, it does feel like a second home, because there's so much Irish culture here, there's so many Irish people, so coming here, it's like, and fighting MSG, the Irish always show up, what I mean, and like I said, yeah, there's so many Irish people in New York, and even Irish Americans, so every time I come here, it's basically like going home, all my family comes here, because it's an easy flight, it's only like a 5-hour flight from Ireland, so I get to see everybody when I come here, and yeah, it feels like a second home.
Does it feel like how it is in Ireland? I know obviously you had the big homecoming like the last fight, but does it feel similar, like when, just the love you get and being in the ring?
I think every time I come back, it's growing, Since the first time I fought here to now, I think now will be a very different feeling, especially coming from that show we just put on in Dublin, everybody that was there that night, you can guarantee is going to come to New York, what I mean? So, yeah, and we've a big Irish card, what I mean? So obviously all them other fighters are bringing big crowds with them, so definitely this time it's going to feel a lot more Irish and a lot more like being at home.
It's interesting, like, when I look at the Irish crowd, it's like they pick somebody who's like, this is our representative, right? Like, I feel like before you, Mick Conlon was the guy, right? And then obviously on the UFC side, Conor and Katie Taylor right now. And it seems like you're kind of the next one up. What do you think it is? Like, how does Ireland pick you to be like, all right, we want to support this guy?
I've no idea, it just kind of happens as it goes, what I mean? Once you're taking good fights, and you're putting on good shows, for the Irish people, I think they appreciate that, that you're not just out here fighting bums and getting fake hype, what I mean? I feel like my hype is real, I'm fighting real fights. Like I'm fighting a guy that's 19-1 here, what I mean? A Scottish guy, a young opponent too, not someone that's old, what I mean? Yeah. So I'm fighting tough fights, and as well we're putting other Irish fighters on the card too, what I mean? We're still showing support to my own people, what I mean? I'm putting on fights that they want to see, what I mean? We're even giving an Irish guy an opportunity to make his debut at Madison Square Garden, what I mean? We're putting on for the Irish people, and I think they appreciate that.
Man, I said the Irish people, it's crazy. When you won last time, they was throwing beers and everything. I said, man, it's fire, this community, man.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, I nearly caught one too, only for I had my gloves on. I was trying to catch him, but I had my gloves on. But yeah, everybody ringside, that's what they say now, you need to bring an umbrella.
Right, bring an umbrella. All right, so tell me, like, would you say Katie Taylor is like, she's the biggest active fighter that Ireland supports right now? Yeah,
definitely, I think so, because she's a woman too, what I mean? It's like, it's rare that you see that, a woman do such big things in the boxing world like her, what I mean? They're selling out MSG, what I mean? Yeah. And it's, but she's always been a legend in Ireland, what I mean? Since the Olympics and since all that, I've seen her train when I was very young, what I mean? We used to, yeah, she used to be up at the high performance training in Ireland, I was on the younger team, and obviously they were like the people we looked up to, like Michael Conlon, Katie Taylor. Yeah. And now, being able to like follow in their footsteps now, like she has done so much in the pro game too, and I feel like I'll be up there soon.
Do you feel like you knew, like seeing her, like, damn, she's about to be, I feel like it's kind of hard to know back then, right? Yeah, like for the women's game?
Yeah, back then I was so young too, I had no idea about the pro game or anything, I was just fighting just because I was fighting, with no really idea what I was going to do, and yeah, it was hard to tell back then.
Where do you feel like the fighting spirit kind of came from for you, right? Like, obviously, like, I know that, there's the term, the fighting Irish, right? Like, but where did it come from for you where you were like, I actually want to do this thing, the fight game is my thing?
I've been boxing since I was 6 years old, so it was just kind of my life, that's just what I grew up doing, it was just it was all I knew, like some people play soccer or whatever, I just fought, and it wasn't really until I started to win titles and stuff, when I was probably like, when I was 17, I won the European gold medal. And after that, I knew I had potential, I knew I had talent that I could go further. So when I was 18, I tried to qualify for the Olympics, and I lost in the final of the qualifiers. And then that's when COVID kind of hit, I didn't really know what I was going to do, spent a lot of time after that just not training, not boxing, just getting in trouble really, you know, and making bad decisions. And that's when I decided I would go to LA to Freddie Roach and just train and just see what my plan was. I only planned to go there for like 3 weeks, you know. I was just going for a vacation. And that's when I started sparring with pros, training with like a high class team, you know what I mean? And I was getting used to it, you know, and I trained there for a year and I was sparring with like Gabe Rosado, you know what I mean? I was helping him with camps, you know what I mean? I was sparring names at Wildcat, you know, and so then I was like, right, I might as well go pro, you know, I'm doing well here, you know, maybe I can just go pro.
Yeah.
And that's when Tom gave me an opportunity to fight, make my pro debut.
Yeah.
I finished that fight in like 20 seconds, and then it was fought again for the St. Patrick's Day show that Tom was putting on in LA. And then I signed a contract with Tom, and that's just...
It's been there since then.
Yeah, so I never really planned on going pro.
You said a lot just now. Hold on, we got to break it down. You said a lot. All right, hold on. Tell me this part. So you said you were in the amateurs, you feel like you started winning, then COVID hit, and you were like, yo, you stopped training, you getting in trouble. Tell me about that part, right? Like COVID hits, the whole world is like shut down. I'm sure Ireland was on that list, like probably not a lot of places you could go. What are you doing? Like, where's your mind frame? Like, all right, it's COVID, where you at?
It was crazy, you know, I was just, I was working a normal job, and I would just come home and I would just lift weights in the evening, you know, and me and my friends would just go out drinking on the weekends, you know, and like everybody in Ireland, all the bars were closed. Really, people would just go to like random fields and drink, or people, like a lot of groups of young people would all meet up and drink. And
what you like to drink, by the way?
I used to drink vodka. I used to drink straight vodka. We were disgusting, man. When I think about it, we used to be just drinking straight vodka. But we would just go out and like obviously like groups of young people hanging around together drinking. You know, there's always trouble there. You know what I mean? It's like
for sure.
Trouble was always there, and we were just making bad decisions too. You know, like we were just young and just doing what thought we could do whatever we wanted, you know, and because I didn't know what was out there, you know what I mean? I was just used to small town, you know, from a place where like 5,000 people, you know what I mean? I'm just used to like, that's all I knew.
Right, and that's Cork Island?
Yeah, but I'm from a small island called Cove. It's like part of Cork, but it's like its own island, you know, so there's not much there, you know, and I didn't know what was out there in the world, you know, so I just was like, right, I'm just gonna just use my fighting skills here and go drinking or whatever, and then that's when I came to LA. Then I realized like there was much more to life than that, you know.
So tell me, because I saw you said you had a regular job. You was just working your job and lifting weights. You were a fisherman, I think I read.
Yeah. I was working on fishing boats 7 days a week. But after that, I went from the fishing boats to working on like cargo ships, and that was a lot easier. You know, I had a lot more.
Hold on a fishing boat, like what y'all just catching fish in bulk, like nets and stuff like that?
It was like traps, like crabs and lobsters. Like we would catch crazy amounts of that shit every day. Yeah. But then when I worked on the cargo ships, it was like you could pick and choose when you wanted to work, you know. So it was during COVID, I could like decide to go to work like Tuesday and Thursday, or I could, you know, there was always work there, and that's when I had more freedom too. So I was just out, just doing whatever, you know. I wasn't really training, wasn't doing anything until I decided to go to LA. Yeah.
So what was the moment that you realized, like, all right, man, I got to get out of here. I got to get to LA. Like, what was the shift for you?
You know, I had a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, I was getting in trouble, and I had a lot of court stuff and stupid shit going on. You know, so I was like, right, I need to change my life. You know, I was still in my mind that I was going to go fight in the Olympics. You know, that was my goal. And so my dad was actually living in LA at the time. So I got in contact with him, and he was like, yeah, the gyms are open here, you know, you can come here and train and go back and try to qualify for the Olympics. So that was my original plan, but then when I got there, like I said, I was sparring with Gabe Rosado, helping him with camps, I was sparring with names, you know, and I was doing well. And I was like, look, if I can turn pro and start getting paid and start making money and stuff, I might as well, you know, so I just stayed there.
How long was your dad American?
No, he's Irish, but he
just moved over there. Yeah. All right. So what is that like, right? Like, you're a kid from Ireland. I presume you spent your entire life in Ireland up until that point. You get to LA, like obviously LA's a big city, right? Like, you know, Hollywood, there's a lot of trouble there too, right? You wanted to get into it. What is it like for you now? Like, all right, I'm in LA, I'm trying to like, you know, figure this shit out. Where are you mentally like when you get there?
Yeah, you know, when I got there, I was just like, I'm just gonna just train and see what happens. And then obviously once I got like settled into Wildcat and I seen that there was opportunities for me, you know, to turn pro and to do stuff, my mind just went completely focused, you know. Like I knew I had a conversation with somebody, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, you know, and it was actually Tony Ferguson, the UFC fighter. He told me, he was like, look, if you want to go back to Ireland and you want to fight in the Olympics, you do that. But if you want to stay here and you want to be a pro, you have to commit 100%, you know, and don't look back, you know what I mean? Like, you can't try to be a pro and be like, oh, maybe I want to go back. You know, you have to commit 100%. So that's when I really decided I was just going to stay here. I was going to focus on turning pro, you know. That's why I trained for a whole year before even making my debut, you know. So I really wanted to do that once I decided, you know. And yeah, my mindset was just like, I didn't care how much money I had. I made no money for the first year I was here. I slept on my dad's couch, you know, for a long time. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care about money. I don't care about going out, because I wasn't even old enough. I was only 20 years old. I couldn't even. I went from being in Ireland drinking. I went from being in Ireland drinking straight vodka to coming to the US. I can't even fucking drink. You know, I couldn't even buy one if I wanted. But yeah, so I was just I couldn't drink. I couldn't do anything. You know, so I was just training, just giving it everything. And that's when I got my opportunity to make my debut. I was like, right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Hold on. So how do you get with Freddie though? Because you know, Wildcard Gym, there's a lot of people there. How do you, I feel like you can't just go to Wildcard Gym like, yo, I want to be, train me, Freddie. Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, I showed up there and he made me spar my very first day. So
Sparring on your first day?
Yeah, very first day. Yeah. So I went in there and I sparred 6 rounds my first day. And
who did you spar?
Blair Cobbs.
Blair the Flair Cobbs?
Yeah, I sparred him first day.
How was the work?
That was good, yeah. Like, obviously, Blair's a lot, you know, I didn't want to...
Was he talking shit to you?
Oh,
like,
he's talking mad, yeah. But we got on good now, you know, after a while, we became friends, you know, but the first day, I was just some young Irish fella coming in the gym, and I see Blair's, like, running around, warming up, and bouncing off the ropes and shit. I was like, what the fuck am I having getting into here, you know? But it was fun, you know, it was a good spot.
Do you feel like he got the better of it, or did you get the better of it?
I was so long ago, man, I don't even remember, you know, it was just like... I was fresh out the amateurs too. I was just that high pace, you know what I mean? I was just like going crazy, you know. But I don't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, you know, Freddie was impressed with me, so Freddie told me to come back the next day. He was like, "Oh, I'll come back tomorrow," and that's what I've been just doing every day since.
You just came back.
I just came back every day. Yeah.
When did you like lock in with Freddie to the point where you realized like, all right, this guy's gonna be my trainer and like guide my career? When did that happen?
You know, I was just there, just training every day. You know, and Freddie was. Obviously the one that is there every single day, you know, so I think it just naturally happened, you know. I was just training, he was giving me advice, and then next thing you know, I got an opportunity for a debut, and Freddie was going to be in my corner, you know, so yeah, it was actually crazy to even think about it, you know, having Freddie Roach.
Crazy story.
Yeah, it's mad.
Hold on, so all right, so Freddie is the trainer, because I feel like you got the big three of like promotion, you know what I mean? Like Freddie's your trainer, Tom Loeffler is the promoter, and then you got Dana White in the background. I don't know what he's doing, like, you know what I'm saying? But that's a big powerhouse right there. Yeah. How do you feel like you were able to cultivate a team like that?
You know, when I made my debut with Tom, he obviously seen what I could do, you know, and then I finished that fight in 20 seconds, and I had my second fight, and I think it was like 30-something seconds, you know, and then my third fight was like a minute, you know what I mean? It was like, I was finishing fights quick, you know, and I was aggressive, and I was ready to fight no matter who they put in front of me, you know, and that's when I signed a contract with Tom, and Tom was already working on a deal with Dana, you know, with Fight Pass and all that, and then he obviously knew the history with Dana and Conor, and he just thought it was a good idea just to introduce me to Dana. So I went down to Vegas on my 21st birthday to meet Dana White.
It's a hell of a 21st, yeah.
It was crazy. It was like I was 19 in Ireland. I was 20 years old. I was in Mexico by myself trying to cross the border to get into America. That was my 20th birthday.
Because you couldn't fly straight from...
Yeah, you couldn't fly direct. So that was part of the story. I had to quarantine like 2 weeks in Mexico, like before I could come over. So like my 19th birthday, I was just in Ireland. My 20th birthday is in Mexico by myself. And 21st birthday, I'm in Vegas with Dana White.
Damn,
like, that shit's
that's
crazy.
crazy. God damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then,
so wait, what was the first conversation you had with Dana White, right? Like obviously this guy, $1 billion, big entity, UFC, Conor McGregor, all this shit. Like what's the first conversation that you remember like that y'all had that was like a real conversation?
You know, I couldn't even believe that I was going to meet Dana. You know, I was a massive UFC fan my whole life, you know, and I couldn't have never even imagined meeting Dana, you know, for a picture or something like that. Never mind being in his office, you know, for a meeting. I was just like, this is crazy. And then we came in, I just showed him some of my amateur fights, told him a bit about myself, you know, and yeah, you know, that was really it, you know. I was just telling him a bit about myself, and yeah, I just showed him like my Instagram and stuff. He was like, oh, how many followers you have? I think I had like 9,000 or something at the start when I first met him, and he was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get that way up, innit? You know, just stuff like that, you know. Just he already had a plan, you know what I mean, without even really knowing me, you know.
So you feel like it was already kind of like he wanted to do it already?
I think, you know, he probably wanted to do it, you know. He probably seen me a young, hungry Irish fighter, but he probably still didn't know what I could do, you know. But then he came to see me fight a couple of times, and then he came on board with his Howler Head whiskey as one of my sponsors, still my main sponsor. And from there, he just watched me fight more and more, and yeah, here we are now.
Damn. Obviously, they made the big announcement recently, like Dana White, Turkey, like TKO is coming. Nobody still really knows all the way what it is. It's just like, yo, there's this new thing. You know, it's a organization, seems like a tournament style, like their own belts. Like, have you spoken to Dana about this, like, whole thing?
No, I haven't talked to him, but I still don't even know what it is, you know. But Dana knows me, and he knows I'll fight anybody and anywhere, you know. So I presume he knows.
Yeah.
They just tell me, yo, you're fighting TKO for this. I'll just be like, all right, no problem. You know what I mean? It's like you don't even have to ask me, you know.
Yeah.
He already knows that I'll fight anybody anywhere. So
you feel like you probably most likely going to be a part of this TKO thing?
Yeah, I think so. You know, if there's opportunity for me there, yeah, definitely I'll take it. I would love to. You know, I think I would love to be someone that's leading that. You know, the TKO and, with Dana and Turkey. You know, I think it would be very good for boxing. You know, the idea that they have behind it makes sense. You know what I mean? And I'd love to be the man that's in there fighting whoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Dana White has had massive success with Conor McGregor, right? Like, huge star in the UFC, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's transcended UFC, to be honest, like, you know what I mean? When you're looking at that and I guess his pathway up, do you see similarities or things that you're like, all right, this guy did this to get there, I could do like this? Or, like, has Dana ever mentioned Conor to you in that type of way?
No, you know, I think Dana's all about just being who you are, you know? It's like, that's all, I'm about that too, just be myself, you know what I mean? If I make it, I do, and if not, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like Conor wouldn't be Conor if he wasn't just himself, you know? Conor's like that when you meet him, you know what I mean? Conor's just that guy, you know what I mean? It's like, Conor wouldn't be who he is today if he wasn't just doing whatever the fuck he wanted, you know what I mean? Just was being himself, so nobody's really pushing me to be someone I'm not, you know? Just letting it happen, you know what I mean? I think that's the best way to be too, you know? I'll just be myself, and at least deep down, at the end of the day, I know if someone's a hater, if someone's a fan, at least I know they genuinely don't like me, or that they're a fan of me, you know what I mean, of myself, you know what I mean? So, and then there's nothing I can, like, at the end of my career, I can say, all right, I always made my own decisions. I know who I am, and if I fucked it up, I fucked it up myself, you know what I mean? So,
You met him before?
Conor? Yeah, I talked to Conor, yeah.
What's like your most memorable exchange with him?
The first time I met Conor was crazy because Conor's someone I've looked up to, you know, for so many years. I remember being like 12 years old, trying to stay up, you know, to watch his fights. And the first time I actually met Conor was at the John Jones card in Vegas. And I'm sitting next to all these like NFL players and everybody, and Conor walks in, and he was kind of looking, and he looked at me, and he was like, oh, like,
oh, he knew you
yeah,
were
he
already?
knew me, and then all the boys next to me were like, oh, you know Conor, and I was like, yeah.
That's fine.
And then
that's my man. That's my cousin.
I went up there and I took a photo with him, and first thing he said to me was like, oh, Callum, I support you all the way, like, up the Irish, like, straight away. He was like, I love what you're doing in the boxing, you know, so that was cool. That was the first time I met him, you know.
That's fine.
And then after my last fight in Dublin, we had the after party at his bar out there and everything.
He was there?
Cool. He was planning on coming, and then some shit like went on, and the whole street got closed down, like the electricity like shut off everywhere.
Damn.
They like shut it down the party.
This wasn't meant to be, right?
The shit was too crazy, But he was sending me like messages and like audio, being like, "Oh, I'm on the way, I'm coming." And then he was like, "Here, the whole street just shut down. We need to like clear out the party." But,
yeah.
That was crazy.
Is he like because obviously I've never been to Ireland, but you know, like when I look at Manny Pacquiao for the Philippines, he's a senator, but he's like the president. Like, this guy runs the country. Is it like that for Conor over there in Ireland? Like, is the whole country just like respect this guy in a different way?
Yeah, I think it is. But there's a lot of mixed opinions about Conor. You know, he's done some crazy stuff that the older people maybe don't like. You know, but my generation, I feel like, is like the generation that was like crazy for Conor. You know, like coming up, and because I was like 12 years old. You know what I mean, obviously I didn't give a fuck what he was doing. Really, you know what I mean? I was just like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, for sure.
We were all on it. So I think a lot of people respect him, and everybody knows him. You know, that's the main thing. You know what I mean? Whether they like you or hate you, everybody knows you. You know what I mean?
For sure. 154 pounds, right? 154. That's a hot division right now, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you got Virgil Ortiz and Fondora's about to fight next weekend. Like, it's a lot of guys, you know what I mean, good fighters that are champions there. Is there any fight for you that you look at and you're like, man, I want that? That's a fight that I want.
For any fight, you know what I mean?
Like
whoever, you know. I've sparred with Virgil at Wildcard,
How was that work?
It was good, yeah, it was good work. We
Yeah.
sparred like 3 or 4 times, yeah.
Damn, I kind of want to see that because the style is like, because you're not scared to go, and obviously
Yeah.
Virgil's like a pressure fighter, so it's like,
It was a good spar. Yeah, I've sparred with a lot of the fighters, you know, around the place, and even the other Russian champion background. I sparred with him. I sparred with him.
Does he hit that hard? Well, he did the Tim too. That shit hurt my heart, man.
He's strong. Yeah, he's a strong fighter. But I didn't think it was anything crazy at the time when I was sparring, but
Yeah,
he's strong though. You can tell he's strong. Obviously, with sparring is different. I mean, with the big gloves and
Yeah.
headgear and all that. So.
What was your toughest sparring session like that you remember? Like, damn, all right, this one, this guy's he pretty good. This guy.
I've had some tough sparring, you know. But I spar everybody, you know, no matter who comes in the door. Wildcard, Freddie knows, like, someone new comes in, he's like, oh, you can spar my Irish guy. He knows I'm just there. I'm just like, oh, fuck it, I'll spar anybody, you know. I'd be sparring big guys, small guys, whoever, you know. Right. But I've had some good ones. Like, there's no one that really sticks out, like, oh, that was a tough one, you know. But yeah, there's definitely been some good ones, right.
Tell me about your fighting style, right? Like, where'd you get it from? Because, I mean, you know, I watched your last fight with Ranowski. I watched a couple other fights before that. You go to the body a lot. That's one of the things I really like about your game because, you know, a lot of people sometimes I feel like forget about the body. That's a really good strategy just in terms of, like, breaking a guy down. Tell me about that, like, just, you know, your style.
Yeah, I've always, you know, I had that good amateur boxing style, you know, from the Irish amateurs, and then I feel like coming from that, like I had a lot of experience there, you know, I had like 140 fights over there in the amateurs, and then going from there, coming to Freddie and learning that more aggressive style, and I feel like it's a good mixture, you know, I can box if I really need to, or I can stand and fight, you know what I mean, and a lot of people just do one or the other, you know, and I feel like I was able to get a good combination of both. And yeah, I go to the body a lot. Yeah, I've always gone to the body. You know, even in the amateurs, I have a lot of videos dropping fellas with body shots, and you know, it just really stuck with me. You know, once I was putting people away with body shots, I was like, and even in the amateurs, I had a lot of knockouts too, like overhands and a lot of body shots. Yeah. Definitely.
What you feel like is the key to a body shot? Like the key to getting the guy out of there with a body shot?
You know, I like the. You just have to really stick them in there. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. As long as once you hurt them up top too. That's the good thing about having power in the hands. You know, once you start landing the punches up top and they're feeling they're really trying to block them. Then you know that's when you can just dig them into the body. You know, and I have a good chin too. You know what I mean? So I don't really care. I would take one to the chin to land a hard one to the body. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter how many sit-ups you do, it doesn't matter how many body shots you take. If you get caught with a good one, you know what I mean? You're going down.
You can't really prepare for a body shot.
And if you don't go down, it's going to wear on you after a while. You know, you're not going to be able to do 10 rounds of taking body shots. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, it's a fight that I feel like it could be a big fight for you in another, like, maybe 2 years. Xander Zayas. I feel like you versus it, because he got the Puerto Rican community, you know what I'm saying, New York. You got the Irish community. I feel like if you bring those two things together, and y'all are both in the similar positions, you know what I'm saying, both contenders, what you think about that fight?
I think that's a good fight. You know, I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? Especially since Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano we could be the next generation for that. You know, make a lot of money and have a good fight. You know, and like you said, the Puerto Rican community out here is big, but. Like I said the other day, I don't see no Puerto Rican bars around the place. All I see is Irish bars out here.
You gotta go uptown for the Puerto Rican spots.
But nah, it'd be a good fight. You know what I mean? It'd be a good. We'd sell a lot of tickets for that, you know, definitely, and it makes sense because we're both young.
That's what I'm saying. That's another year or two.
We both keep winning and keep doing our thing. You know, that could turn into a big fight. You know what I mean? Big deal at the big arena over there, the Garden. You know what I mean?
What do you get from Tom, right? Like, obviously, Tom, your promoter, you know, this guy's had Klitschko and Triple G, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of stuff do you take from him, like, when y'all are having conversations about your career in this direction?
Yeah, you know, just Tom has the plan. Tom's the man with the plan, and I trust him, you know, so I don't really ask too many questions, you know what I mean? I trust Tom, and I trust my team, you know what I mean? They have the best plan for me. They have it's worked so far, you know what I mean? It's got me to where I am now. Without me asking questions. I don't think I need to be in the middle of like, oh, maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do this. You know, Tom has already had champions. He already had Triple G, you know what I mean? He knows the game, you know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. And obviously with him and Dana and Freddie, I mean, the team that I have
is a crazy combination.
You know what I mean? So they know what they're doing, you know? I just tell them when am I fighting next and who am I fighting, and they just say here, and that's all, you know? The only thing I take from Tom is his money. That's it. That's the only.
Cut the check, Tom.
Yeah. He makes the
funny.
plan, and I just follow it. Though, you know?
Yeah. Do you watch boxing? Like, are you a fan of some of the guys out today?
Not really, you know. I never watch boxing really. I watch the big fights that are on or whatever, or
Yeah.
important fights, or maybe future
Like Bivol
opponents.
Better
or
Be,
whatever.
if you watch that?
Yeah, I watch them fights, or like
You watch Javante and Lamar Rose?
yeah, any big fights that are on, I'll watch, or maybe future opponents or whatever. Like I'll have a quick look off it and see what I think. But mainly, I'm not really like a massive boxing fan. You know, I didn't get into boxing that way. You know, I think it was just that was my life, and I just boxed because that's what I knew. You know, I didn't get into boxing from like watching a certain fighter or whatever.
Right.
You know? So I think that's why I wasn't really too into it.
Yeah. So you don't got a favorite fighter now? It's just like
Nah,
whatever.
I don't have a favorite fighter now.
What about the old guys like Mickey Ward and shit like that, right? Like he's that's a legend, a legendary Irish guy. Do you ever like watch him and be like, oh, this guy's dope?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen some highlights of Mickey Ward. You know, and, yeah, he's a legend too. You know, some of his fights, I take some stuff from him. You know, like the body head and stuff like that. You know, going to the body too. You know, so yeah, and I have Dickie Eklund in my corner. You know, that's his uncle Mickey Ward. You know,
Oh,
so
for real?
yeah,
Damn.
so yeah, we have I have Dickie in the corner. You know what I mean? So we take a lot from Mickey. Yeah.
Do you live in Ireland like still today?
No, I'm full time in LA. Yeah, been out there 4 years.
Okay. Would you go back to live there?
No, no, I would like to have a house there, you know, that I can go back and forth.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't live there full time. I think I wouldn't live in LA either, though. You know, I think after my career is done, I'll go somewhere like Spain or something, somewhere in Europe. You know what I mean? Just chill out there.
If I went to Ireland with you and I was like, I'm trying to find some girls, they gonna show me some love out there?
You'll find some, right? Yeah, you'll probably find some. They might be the best, but you'll find a Why they say beggars can't be choosers, but that's it, you know what I mean?
That's fair. All right, so look, what if you weren't boxing, right? Like if this dream never panned out, you never had your super team around you, what would you be doing?
I'd either be just working and street fighting, or I'd just be fucking locked up. Probably, I don't know, I'd be doing something stupid, innit? Yeah. I'd probably be like street fighting, bare knuckle boxing or something.
So you're just a real fighter, like everything is just fighting.
I'd probably be like bare knuckle fighting, probably trying to make some money that way. Yeah.
Damn, all right. What kind of music you listen to?
Just whatever. I listen to a lot of rap and stuff, but just whatever. Just fight week, I don't know. I just listen to random playlists and shit.
Yeah, you know what you should come out to? There's this artist, Central C. He got a song called St. Patrick's on the new album.
Yeah, really?
You gotta come out to that.
I must listen to it there in a minute. Yeah, I know Central C. Yeah, it's good.
All right, so listen. Lastly, man. Obviously, like I said, we got this big fight coming this Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. What's your expectation?
I'm looking for the finisher. I mean, I'm looking to finish the fight always. You know, I think he's gonna try to pressure me, but I don't think he has the power to do that. You know, so I think my power will be a big difference in this fight. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna look for the finish and try to get to the bar as quick as I can.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm coming if you get the finish. I'm pull up. Be my man, please. All right. Last question. What's the goals, right? Like, cause you said, you're just a fighter, man. Like, I just want to fight, but like, do you have goals here? Like, I want to do this before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I just want to know in the back of my mind, you know, that I'm the best fighter in the world. You know, I want to win the world title, and I want to do it the hard way. You know, I don't want to be a fighter that people look at and they're like, oh, he won the world title, but he could have fought this guy. I'm just gonna fight whoever they put in front of me, and when I win the world title, I'll know that I took the hard way. You know, I fought whoever they put in front of me, and I really won it. You know what I mean? I didn't just pick the right direction to go. You know. Yeah, I just want to know in the back of my mind that I'm the best fighter in the world.
So you're taking anything right now. If Tom calls you like, yo, Terrence Crawford next, you can do
whatever. You know, I'll try my best. I'll show up and I'll try my best. That's what it's all about, there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Just showing it, because you never know. You know, there's a million things that come into play on the night. You know, whether you're scared or whether you had a bad camp, a good camp, whether you might be hiding an injury. You just don't know. You know what I mean? On the night, you just don't know. Boxing's a crazy sport too. You just get caught with that one shot. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'll just fight whoever they put in front of me, you know, and see. And at least if I lose, I'll know that I tried. You know what I mean? I know that I really tried. You know.
I like that. Not scared to take a if it comes. Like,
because I just want to know that I fought the best, and I even tried to be the best. You know that I really, and even if I can't beat the man, at least I'll know in my mind, like, I'm not like looking down the line, like, I could have fought him. I could have beat him.
Back in the day,
maybe I could have beat him. You know, I want to just fight him, and if I can't, at least I'll know that's how good I am. You know what I mean? That's the level I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, listen, man, I appreciate your
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
bro.
thank you.
And I look forward to your ascent, man. You know, just keep going up, and I look forward to like watching your
Definitely.
career.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man, dope episode of Cigar Talk. My man Callum Walsh. We out of here.